Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. Just a few quick things before I start here. This content is not financial advice. My goal here is just to provide as much valuable information as possible so you can make better decisions when it comes to Bitcoin or life in general. And first I want to share with you this really important statistic that I found here. Some of you might have seen it already, but if not, it's something you should be aware of, especially if you're a Bitcoin holder or Bitcoin investor. And in the second part of this video, I want to share with you a really great tool that I also found. It is completely free, so stick around till the end and let's start. So in this statistic, we can see here the change in Bitcoin ownership. And we can see here that individuals are selling their Bitcoin while businesses, funds, and governments are buying Bitcoin. Now, if some of you have been long enough in this market, you remember that businesses, institutions, and big governments always said that Bitcoin is dead, Bitcoin is going to zero, Bitcoin is worthless. And now look at this. They're buying it. Okay, and that should tell you something really important. They know something that you don't. Okay, that is the main takeaway here. And if they're buying it, it's a good sign. It's a good sign, and you should not sell it. You should hold on to your Bitcoin, because if you hold on long enough, 5-10 years, it will pay off, right? But there's a very clear difference in mindset right here. Individuals are thinking short term. Governments and businesses are long-term thinkers. Okay, and that's what we need to learn from this is don't sell your Bitcoin, because they want you to sell your Bitcoin. They know there's only going to ever be 21 million Bitcoin, and not everybody will be able to own it. And that is why when you sell your Bitcoin, it changes hands. It goes to institutions, governments, funds, right? So if you want to learn from this statistic, do not sell your Bitcoin. That is the main takeaway. The more people understand Bitcoin, they will find out that it is scarce. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin, and that is why more and more people would want to buy it, right? And also, people are going to find that, Bitcoin is a deflationary asset, which means everything else compared to Bitcoin will keep going down in price. Whereas if we look at the US dollar, everything compared to the US dollar keeps going up. If it's groceries, real estate, pretty much everything. Let me give you an example. Let's say you had a $300,000 home that you wanted to sell in 2017, okay? And around 2017, Bitcoin's price was about $3,000, okay? So if you sold that home in 2017, you would have gotten 100 Bitcoin for that home, right? Now, let's say you held on to these 100 Bitcoin for 9 years, all the way up to 2025, and now the Bitcoin price is $100,000 for one Bitcoin. Okay, that means you only need 3 Bitcoin to buy that same house that was worth 300,000. Okay, even if, let's say, after 9 years the home price appreciated in value, because real estate goes up compared to US dollar. So let's say it's $400,000 now in 2025. You only need 4 Bitcoin to buy that same house. Okay, and I know it's a little bit of an extreme example here, but it's just to show you that everything else compared to Bitcoin goes down in price, which means if you held on to your Bitcoin enough time, you could buy more with your Bitcoin, because the Bitcoin price appreciates in value over time. Okay, And this is the main takeaway here. Hold on to your Bitcoin. Don't panic sell when everybody's fearful, when there's a lot of doubt, uncertainty in the market. Institutions and governments know this. They know these cycles. Okay? And that's where people make a lot of money, in the bear markets. So instead of selling your Bitcoin, you need to buy your Bitcoin. Don't panic. Don't sell when everybody's fearful. You just dollar cost average, okay, into your positions. And this brings me to the next part where I told you about this free tool here. And it's by Into the Cryptoverse website. You can go on here, and all you need to do is just create a free account. They also have some premium options, but you don't have to do that. You can just create a free account, and then you go under tools and you can find it here. And basically, a very, very straightforward tool, very simple. You just choose the asset that you would like. You have all kinds of coins here that you can choose from. I use it for Bitcoin. Then you put the amount that you want to invest. You can put how often you want to invest, daily, weekly, monthly. And then you have the day of the week. Not really important, but you can choose that. You can then choose the time frames. Okay, so let's say for this example, if you invested $100 every week from August 23 till today, you would have invested $13,100. And this is how much of Bitcoin you have accumulated over this time. And this is your current portfolio value. Okay, so you would be up almost $1,000 in 2 years. Okay, and let's say you compare it to Ethereum. You can put comparisons here. You can add as many options as you want to. You can add, let's say, XRP, Solana. So you can see here, XRP in these time frames would be the best investment. You know, you'll be up 66%, Bitcoin 7%, and the rest you'll be in the red. Okay. Now, you can play around with this tool. You know, you can try all kinds of different things. But let's say you put $100 every week since 2010 till today. You would have invested almost $81,000, and you would have had, if you just held on to your Bitcoin and not sold it, you would have $1.5 billion. Okay? And that's insane, you know? If you just held on, not sell, everything else compared to Bitcoin is a lot cheaper. And that is the evidence. Okay, so I'll wrap it up here. Let me know how you like this tool. If you found value in this content, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.